Hey, Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. Okay, and salutation, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel that's laboring in this truth of love. All right. See, this is what we be talking about. Okay, and they wonder why we so pissed off and so angry at the wicked, and the ungodly. First of all, there are those that don't want to take accountability for their wicked acts, wicked deeds, wicked ways of life, you know. And there are those that just hell want to accept it as, hey, this is the only life we live, and this is how it's going to be, you know. Um, but um, but watch this video here, and as you can read here, please lock him up. Mother and son who keep stealing cars in Columbus speaks out, you know. And let me say this: first of all, the kids aren't supposed to be raised around these women. They belong to the men, to the fathers, you know. And there are no exceptions, you know. They're supposed to be raised by the fathers, not these women, unless the mom and the dad are together. If not, those kids belong with the father, you know. Let me begin by saying that. For those of you that, oh, I raised a good son. Here he is, went through college, but he's on the down low, or he's totally committed and serving Esau and the last thing that's on his mind is serving the Lord. But I raised a good man. I raised a good man. People are foolish, man. But I'm gonna let this video play. Then I'm gonna come back and dive into the scriptures.
You guys are amazing.
Let that pause here. I don't want to. Here we go.
Well, tonight, car thefts across the city continue with 3 incidents happening just this morning.
And now a mother of a teen who is stealing these cars is speaking.
3 incidents just this morning. And listen, hey, this can't continue on with our people, you know. And as the scripture says, you know, as Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai calls them hypocrites, man. You know, call our people hypocrites. And best believe at one point or another, these little car thieves and these little disobedient, rebellious little nigglets, you know, at one point or another, you know, they cling on to the Black Lives Matter, you know, and you know that Black Lives Matter is under, is supposed to be representing the injustice done by so-called black people, but you already know what comes under that umbrella, the down low, the mode, transformer lifestyle, you know. But you know, at one point or another, they probably, we've been attacked by the cops, you know, the cops are doing us wrong, police brutality, and, you know, at one point or another, you know, that thought or that crosses their mind. You know, that's why the Lord calls them hypocrites, man. And the same with their mamas, you know, same with their mamas, contributing heavy to this lifestyle, you know, these unruly children. They're the contributors. If not, you want to call them, let's call them, they're the ones that gave birth, you know, to this lifestyle. And what I mean by that, the scripture says, through the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. That's the scriptures that says that, you know, and it's starting with Eve, and that's carrying on all the way 1,000 years later till the modern day black woman. You know, the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. That's in her DNA. Even to this day, man. Even to this very day, man. You know? So, anyway, here we go.
Speaking out, asking for help. TV's Carly Dion spoke with her today and joins us live with more on why she's frustrated. Carly.
Andrew, Yolanda, Tiffany Hammonds says her 17-year-old son recently started down a bad path, and she's done all she could to try to stop it. Now she's wondering what more could be done if police keep releasing.
This is the last days we're living in, and judgment's going to be starting to take place on a massive scale. You know, but who's listening? You know, who really gives a damn? You know, 2/3 can literally, they can give it. They don't give a damn, man. You know, until that day when the Reaper knocks on that door. You know, what was that? What movie is that? Or is it South Park? I'm always quoting something from South Park. South Park was full of meat. With the Grim Reaper, and they were literally running from the Grim Reaper. You know, it's actually kind of funny.
Releasing her son from custody.
I've been begging and pleading. Please arrest him, lock him up.
You can see she ain't right. Just you can literally see she's not right. You know, it all begins at home, man. You know, when my sons were young, when my sons and daughters were young, you know, I didn't deny or refuse a chance to knock them upside their head. As a matter of fact, you know, I remember I used to tell them, man, I hope y'all act up. I want y'all to give me a reason to knock, you know, knock the living it out of your ass. You know, that's literally what I used to tell them, man. Not that they're perfect, but you know, I didn't waste a chance. I didn't waste a chance, you know, to take a swing.
Do something that's going to make him pay for the things that he's.
Look, rest in peace. You know, these people, they worship and they worship the dead. It's one thing about our people. They worship the dead, man. You know?
He's out here doing.
Tiffany Hammonds says her 17-year-old son has been caught stealing cars multiple times by police.
Look at that. Look at the hair. The jeans.
Police, and he's driving without a license. She feels not enough is being done to stop him.
This little motherfucker should be working at some job. There's all kinds of jobs out there to work. There's work out there, you know, and that's a goddamn fool that's saying there's not. There's work, man. There's all kind of fast food joints, you know, until you can get something better. There's work out there, you know. Personally, I always believe it's best to have some money than not to have none. you know, it's best to have a little money than not to have none. You know, there's work out there. There's no, you know, when I was 16, 17 years old, that's exactly what was on our mind, man. You know, running up and down the basketball court and making some money. And if not, some little, what you want to call a little boo on the side. You know, chasing booze and working, man. That's what we were doing, you know. Don't use time as an excuse. Times and change. Don't use it as an excuse, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with going to the gym. Ain't nothing wrong with working a little job. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little boo. Hanging out with a boo. Times change. You know, I put that boo in the back corner. You got to be serving the Lord now. But you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. You know, there's no excuse. And he's 17 years old and he's just out there being a thug. Here, Deuteronomy. And this is what's in the scriptures. This is what's in that. And that's a problem with our people. That's the problem with 2/3 of our people. They're getting away from this, you know. That's why these Edomites has to be taken out of the way. Because they forbid things like this. And all the men, Deuteronomy 21 and 21. Here we go. 21 and 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son. And listen to the wording. Listen.
Done almost everything I could.
Says her 17-year-old son has been caught stealing cars multiple times by police, and he's driving without a license. She feels not enough is being done to stop him.
I've done almost everything I could, and it's turning him against me. He's turned against doing what he wants to do.
She said he's turned against her. He's turned against her. It says rebellious. Stubborn and rebellious. It said he's turned against her. To be contentious, to be rebellious, be refractory, be disobedient towards. Be rebellious. To be disobedient, be rebellious toward father. In this case, daddy's not around. Probably doesn't. she probably doesn't even know who the daddy is. More than likely, she probably have an idea, but she doesn't actually know who the baby daddy is. You know? So to be contentious, disobedient, he's turned against her. So it says here, rebellious son which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them. What she say? She said every time he commit a crime, the cops bust him and bring him right home. They need that's a monster, man. And it's regardless, 18, 19, when he turns into a so-called adult, which he's a grown man now. But when he gets to these ages, he's going to be even worse, man. He's made up his mind. It's in his spirit just to be a wicked demon. He's probably out there smoking weed and doing whatever else, probably popping pills, probably doing everything and anything that can get him to the point of feeling good. It says, and that when they have chastened him and will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. We don't feel sorry for these little niggas, man. When these cops start blowing where they are, but we ain't gonna feel sorry and start shedding tears and praying for these little niggas, man. When the cops start to be, when finally the time comes when the cops get sick of his ass and blow him away, all we can say is, "Told you so." It told you so. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this is our son. This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shalt thou put away evil from Salaki. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. What's the fear? Esau lock you up eventually, give you highest bond, sentence you to prison, give you a cot, 3 meals a day. You get to hang out with buddies in prison, and you get to hang out in jail, and get to pop you another man that's dressed as a woman in jail, and you get to make your phone calls. You get to go home and they celebrate you, throw you a big party, and the cycle continues. These niggas get out of jail and they celebrate and throw parties, man. You can't make this up. You literally cannot make this up, And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to do. He's going to bring fear to the 2/3. They have no idea what's coming, man. And they've been told, they've been warned, and they're continuously to this point still being warned. The Trump, the voice of the Lord has still been, you can still hear it constantly. This is madness, man. If any man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang on the tree. So you get the point there. Let the rest of this play.
And which is turned into the streets.
Hammond says when her son has been caught by police for stealing or crashing a stolen vehicle, they keep bringing him home.
I think him seeing that nothing is being done is giving him more of an adrenaline rush to go back out and do it again.
Between January and August of this year, more than 7,000 cars have been stolen.
This is exactly what Esau wants. From his master plan, from the Willie Lynch letters until the civil rights movement, the women's liberation movement until now. This was his whole plan, was to destroy the Israelite family, man. Hey, come on, let's get away from that goddamn term, the black man, black woman, the black family. It's the Israelite family, man. That's the whole point. Keep their minds preoccupied. Keep them far from the truth, from learning who they really are. That's the devil's plan, man. That's his ultimate goal. Destroy the Israelite family.
stolen in the city of Columbus. A little more than
Monsters.
half of them have been Kias and Hyundais. Hammond says she fears the threat her son poses to others and himself.
Since he's left that I know of, he's crashed 5 cars. And I reported each and every one that I know of.
What?
And he's still out here.
It poses to others and himself.
Since he's left that I know of, he's crashed 5 cars.
5 cars.
And I reported each and every one that I know of. And he's still out here.
It's not known if her son was part of the
And
group
at this
who
very
stole it.
moment, he's on the streets somewhere in Columbus. Somewhere in Columbus. Doing what? Getting high, drinking, and God knows what else.
Kia and Hyundai found at Crum Park. The Hyundai had been set on fire while the Kia was left in
Look
the
at it.
pond. About 4 hours.
What?
While the Kia was
Look at that.
left in the pond. About 4 hours later, officers say after a 911 call, they found a group of teens inside a car near the 700 block of Thurman Avenue. The driver then rammed into a Columbus police cruiser multiple times,
Okay,
causing
multiple
damage.
times. So the cops already have a reputation of blasting whoever rams them with cars, man. Because they fear for their lives. I mean, come on. You can lose your life easily. A car accident doesn't even necessarily have to be as bad as you think. You can lose your life, man, in a car accident, And I know a couple of motherfuckers that end up quadriplegic and paraplegics from car accidents.
Damage to the front bumper
Don't blame the
before
cops.
leaving the scene. As the
You can't be mad at the cops, You can't be mad at the cops. And they do unjustly blast unarmed individuals, but that's just the judgment of the Lord, man. That's just the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The individuals died, they came from on high, from Yahweh. He sanctioned his death, man. His or her death, man.
The city calls on parents to watch their kids. What happens
It's not
when
a
they've
kid,
done
it's a man.
all they could? This mother hopes something is done soon.
We're trying. But once they're here and they leave again, then what?
That ungodly soul with them cumbrellas. With them cumbrellas. Isaiah 9 here. Isaiah 9:16, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. I love you go into that word, the widows. Check it out. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. And that widows, just check it out how it describes a home base, not just a woman. It's referring to the woman, of course, but check it out. Widows here. Almana.
Strong's H490. Almana.
Almana, feminine of H488, a widow. Also a desolate place, desolate house. A desolate place, a desolate house, man. BET and the PlayStation probably raised him, or Xbox was his is the closest thing to a daddy he can identify with. And that's literally how they think, man. These 2/3, man, their logic on their decision making is just that absurd as to call Xbox and BET or whatever filth plays their rap music. That's my daddy, man. I love him. That's their logic. That's their like. What's the etymology of this word? Amon, widowed, forsaken as a widow. Forsaken here. Forsaken. Translate the word forsaken here. Forsaken. Look at that. I don't know where that comes from. Forsaken and from Norwegian. Let me do this. Let me do this instead. dictionary. Ooh. Fine. Abandoned or deserted. She probably ran daddy away. For whatever imaginary reasons that they conjure up in their minds. And this nigga gotta go. This nigga gotta go. This bum gotta go. She can you? I can just hear it right now. It says, neither shall have mercy on the fatherless or the widows, for everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer. You know, and remember going into that widows, a desolate place. A desolate house. Everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer. And every mouth speak folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burneth as the fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Okay. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. It looks like these niggas getting a head start, man, before the madness really, the real chaos really kicks in. What we refer to as the shit hits the fan. These niggas getting a head start, man. You know, the Lord's about to start killing these niggas, man. Because personally, it's vexing. It's vexing seeing it every. And this is exactly what, like I said before, it's exactly what these devils want, man. This is exactly what the so-called white man wants. The biblical Edomites. This is exactly what they want, man. You know, a destroyed society, a destroyed nation of people, man. You know. So anyway, continue to throw up the prayers. You know what the prayers are meant to do. You know, continue to throw up the prayers so we can get the hell up out of here. Shalom.